Dan Weber, I'm Johnny Freatman, bringing you instant analysis here from Howard Jones Field. The second of 3 practices this week has concluded, and a lot of storylines from today. Dan, let's start off with what Lane Kiffin said after practice about T.J. McDonald, so that he had a good week last week, but has really taken it to another level this week. What have you seen from him?
Well, Lane said they're trying to do some extra things with him. I mean, he said the number one thing they'd really like to see is tackling security. Just never miss a tackle. But he had a great leaping interception in the end zone, I thought, where they're moving him around more and more of a little Troy Polamalu opportunities and things like that, and they want to see how he handles it. Clearly the secondary is playing much better. Lane said that. I think the secondary is going to, obviously, they're not playing Matt Barkley as much, and Robert's not there, and, kind of had another tight end, Randall, kind of pulled up lame today, so maybe the offense doesn't have all its weapons, but the secondary is really coming after him. So I think Lane was very pleased that TJ had a markedly good week so far this week in the first 2 practices. Another
guy who looked really good today was George Uko, and this, of course, coming off him being demoted to second team for what Coach Kiffin called quote-unquote 3 loaf plays. How does Uko seem to be reacting to that, and what did you think about his response today to the media?
I thought he reacted really well because he said, I didn't take it as a negative. I know what they're doing. I know I can't take plays off. I've got to be, a good example. We were just talking to Coach Orgeron, and he said, got a long way to go, but some real potential there. George, I think Lane described him as the perfect 3-technique tackle. So I asked George what he thought, that meant. And he said, the more I think, well, I can run, I'm quick, I can, play. He can do a lot of different things. Play high, for example. He can, do a lot of things that the 3-technique tackle can do. And what he said was, I know I have to do it every play. I got to be a guy that we can depend on every play. I'm giving my maximum. He said, it was on film. He said there wasn't any arguing that I was taking plays off. So he said I've taken it the right way, and I understand what they're telling me, and I get the message.
We talked on Tuesday about the switch, moving Trey Madden from linebacker to running back. Today was day 2 of that experiment. How did you think he looked today?
Yeah, I think you can take off that. We're going to give it a week and see how it goes. I think the week's up. It's gone fine. His first 4 or 5 runs that he made today you don't expect that. I mean, he said, I wanted to work on my footwork, and he comes out here today and he just runs it up through the middle. He just is showing you things that you really don't expect. And I know he ran the ball in high school, and I know he's had, the ability to catch it and throw it. Lane, I told us something today we didn't know. I said, could you see him as the big back Wildcat guy that kind of does what Mark Tyler did? And he said, oh, yeah. He said he throws it really well. Well, we haven't even seen him throw it. We saw him catch it today a couple of times and catch it very naturally and turn it upfield. But to me, he is far, far ahead of where we thought he would be, or where anybody would have a right to think of a linebacker turn tailback like that.
Lastly, I've got one final question, and I want a one-word answer. Who has looked better through 5 practices, the offense or the defense?
I'd say the defense, because of just more availability of more guys who can play.
All right, well, thank you very much, Dan. We will be coming to you live on Saturday from the Coliseum. We'll have a scrimmage report, instant analysis then. In the meantime, you can look up more info on uscfootball.com. For Dan Weber, I'm Johnny Freatman, signing off from Howard Jones Field.